Welcome to the Homesteading for Beginners podcast. This is Mona Weathers. If you listened to the last episode where I talked about the possibility of having a new grandchild, well, our new grandbaby girl was born here on July 22nd, so this was this past weekend, and she is just amazing and perfect and beautiful, and the birth was just so smooth. I can't tell you how much it was so exciting to watch the whole process happen, to watch her being born here on our property, in the house, not on the property. She was born here on Thankful Hill Farm, and it just makes my grandma heart so happy. Anyway, if you are praying for safe delivery and all that, thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. And today I'm going to give you a little bit more of an update as well. I'm going to just real quick tell you how my social media break is going. My social media break is going amazingly. It's almost over, and I'm kind of almost sad about it because my need for using social media as part of my business strategy is important. I will not be completely throwing it out. I still want it. Plus, there's a lot of people that I used to follow on social media, and I miss seeing their content and stuff. So I will not be taking it out, but I will tell you, if you've never taken a social media break before, I highly, highly recommend it. And I recommend doing at least a month. I have done 2 weeks before, and it just is not the same. The whole month was really, really great, because by about halfway through, I was finally starting to feel like it didn't bother me as much being away from it. Like I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. It's just so great. And I'm actually, before I left, there was another homesteader that on social media that decided to go with me and do the same thing as I was doing. So we've been emailing each other, and that has been so great. And so I just wanted you to know that it is such a great opportunity, if you can, to just take a break and just reset and figure out what it is that you need to do, what is missing in your life and what is too much in your life. You kind of have to step back and get away from things in order to figure out what's missing or what is too much, So, but I will be coming back in August. So August 1st, I'll be coming back to social media. I'll probably start mostly posting on Instagram. I also wanted to give you an update on what's going to happen next month with the podcast. So I'm still going to continue. The next 2 episodes are great, so do not miss those, especially if you love horses and you're interested in horses, and if you love Jill Winger. So the next 2 episodes will be with Jill Winger. It will be the interview I did with Jill Winger about owning horses on the homestead. But after that, I will be taking a break from the interview episodes. So it will be solo episodes for the month of August, except for the one part 2 with Jill Winger. So in the month of August, I will be doing solo episodes, and I will be diving more into the homestead income plan topic, because I have something really exciting for you. Before we get into the topic of today, which is 5 things you need to know before you start your homestead income plan, I want to share more about the homestead income plan website and YouTube channel that I have starting. I have the website, but I'm still working on it. So if you go to homesteadincomplan.com, you'll see that I say I'm still working on it, but it's almost complete. And I've also started a YouTube channel for the homestead income plan. It's actually called Homestead Income. And I am just so thrilled with this path that I'm going on, because I can foresee how many people this will affect in a positive way. And to kick off the Homestead Income Plan brand and all of the things that I have going on, I am hosting a Cultivating Cash Flow challenge, and it will be a free challenge. It's a homestead income challenge. This challenge will be free. It's 5 days event, and it will be hosted in Facebook. But if you are wanting to not be on Facebook, you can still join by being a part of the live streams that will be on YouTube, on the Homestead Income YouTube channel. So that will be a private event, a live stream. The Cultivating Cash Flow Challenge is how you will discover ideas for your 3 homestead income stream strategy. This will be the beginning of your cash flow strategy. So if you want to learn more about the 3 homestead income stream strategy, listen to episode 22. This is where I talk more about the 3 homestead income stream strategy, which is on homestead income, off homestead income, and online income. So as a long-time homesteader, I completely understand what keeps you up at night. So like, I know the pain points that you are dealing with, possibly if you're just getting started or if you are a few years in. You're like, can I really afford this homesteading thing? Or will my spouse ever be able to quit their job and do homesteading full time? Will we ever be able to have, those vacations we want to take and all those things? Are we just going to be strapped to our homestead for the rest of our lives? Even though it's a great and wonderful life, you got to get away sometimes. You got to go on vacation. So this is the beginning. This is where I'm offering you hope. I think the killer of hope is not having anything to look forward to. No way of feeling like you're going to get out of it is the killer of hope. And so the best way to get out of despair is this feeling of despair is to have a plan and to focus on that plan. And the way we're going to start planning will be through this challenge, and this will be sort of like a brainstorming session, and we're going to come up with ideas as a group. There's going to be other people in there, and I'm just really excited for you because this is where I thrive. I love helping people come up with ideas. So this is a free event, like I said before. So if you're ready to join this event, I want you to join the wait list, which is at homesteadincomeplan.com/cash flow. And you can join the wait list, and I'll send you the information as we get closer. The date of the event is August 18th. That's when we start the event. And it'll be for 5 days, a few days here and there in between. So it might be for, like 7 or 8 days will be the official probably, but the actual challenge part will be 5 days. Okay, now that I've said all that, let's get into the topic today. So if you're still here and you've listened to that whole intro, I decided to take out the actual intro that I have because I felt like this was just too long, but I have so much to share with you. And these solo episodes only come every so often now. So we're going to start with the 5 things you need to know before starting your homestead income plan. And these are things that I've come up with just because I've dealt with them, I've felt them, I understand how it works to grow your own business and the things that come up. So number 1 is you need to know that you're actually starting a business. I think a lot of people, we get confused with the words side gig and side hustle and those sorts of things. But if you're getting into it more than just for creating fast cash, like you could technically, I guess, have a business that's just not really considered a business much if it's just something for fast cash, like getting one job here and there or whatever. But if you're actually wanting something more sustainable, something that you can build on, then it's a business. It doesn't matter how small it is a business. Think about an example of this might be that you go to the mall and there is a mall department store like Macy's or something, and then you turn in the hallway of the mall and you see a sunglass store cart thing, when those kiosk type businesses. Both of those are businesses and both of those are run businesses. They just have different needs because based on their size. But they're both businesses. So it doesn't matter how small your business is, you need to make sure you're running it like a business. So that is the first thing I have to say. If you're wanting to generate income from your homestead, treat it like a business. Okay, so number 2 is building a sustainable business, like we mentioned before, takes time. A quick cash business may not be a whole lot of time and effort you put in there, but a sustainable business that you want to build and grow as time goes on, it's going to take time. It's not going to be a quick thing. So building a business requires a lot of thought and planning. It requires you to have a plan for failures and successes. So you have to have a plan for when things don't go right so that you keep going. I think the killer of business is people who just give up too early, right? So have a long game plan in mind. Have a long game plan in mind. So number 2 is building a sustainable business takes time. Number 3 is if you're starting your own business, you are an entrepreneur. I don't know what kind of face you made when I said the word entrepreneur. I know some people don't like to be called that, but that is what you are if you're starting your own business. And you need to be comfortable with that terminology because that is what you are. Some of us are actually solopreneurs, which means that we're doing it all by ourselves and we have all the responsibility on your shoulders. And so just remember that that could be another term that you need to just embrace that term. Get comfortable with the terminology because that is what you are. You are an entrepreneur. And number 4 is entrepreneurship can be very lonely. If you don't have a supportive spouse or family member or friend, it really makes it difficult to get through those discouraging times. When something goes wrong, it's really nice when you have somebody to talk to about it. It's really nice when you can, have a sounding board. But sometimes the spouses and the friends don't really understand exactly what you're going through, although that, I highly recommend having those. My husband has been really great at listening to all my business stuff. And I talk to him a mile in a minute, and he's just you can see his eyes glaze over. But he has topics that I feel the same way about, so we're even there. But anyway, but he's trying to be supportive and everything. But it's really nice if you have people who are actually growing their own business and they are entrepreneurs and they do understand all that it takes to grow a business, all the hats that you have to wear. It's really nice when you have that, which is why I have created the Homestead Income Plan group, which I've mentioned before. That is one of the main reasons I created that group, was so that it was a place for entrepreneurs to get encouragement, homesteading entrepreneurs to get encouragement. Since entrepreneurship can be lonely, this is something you need to know. Have a plan for not being lonely. Find people, find a buddy, find a business buddy, find somebody who's kind of on the same level as you as far as how much you know, because that'll help you, or above you. Somebody who's above you will help as well because they'll be able to teach you. But the problem sometimes that might happen with people who are above you is that you might feel like you're not doing it fast enough. So, having a coach or something like that is different than having somebody who's just above you in their journey. But either way, just find somebody to help you get through some of the hard times by being able to talk to them about different things. So I highly recommend that. Okay, and number 5 is building a business is not about you. Building your business is about your customer or your client, and it's not about you. This may be really, really hard for some people to hear and actually soak in. It actually took me a long time to soak this in. I didn't understand what that meant exactly until I did. So it might take you some time to soak this in. And everything about your content and everything about everything that you make after this point, think about how your customer receives that, or what does your customer need. And if you're an expert in your field, if you're an expert at something you do, you may know what your customer needs before they do. So just understand that maybe your customer doesn't understand what they need yet, but you have to, communicate that in a way that they will understand. But everything is really about your customer or your client. It's not about you. Your content on social media, your videos, your podcast, this is how I operate this podcast. I think, what does my listener need? Every episode I make here it starts with that. What do they need? And I base my content off of that. I started to think about my past and what I went through and how I struggled with certain things so that I can create content for that for you. And it's all how I came up with the Homestead Income Plan. That it was all because I listened to the customer. I listened to the listener. I listened to the follower. I saw that this was an area that people needed support, was learning how to generate an income to make your homesteading experience sustainable, and that's what I'm here for too. So I'm helping beginners get ready. So I'm helping beginner homesteaders get ready. That's what this podcast is about, is I'm helping you start and maintain a healthy homestead, but I'm also supporting you in another way, which is financially, because I saw that is what you need. You need this, maybe not everybody's listening and that needs a financial plan or a homestead income plan, but a lot of homesteaders are needing that. A lot of people wanting to start homesteading are needing that. So just so they can fund their homestead. So this is how I came up with it, because I listened to my customer, I listened to my listener, I listened to my follower. The 5 things you need to know before starting your homestead income plan is that you need to know that starting a business, you are starting a business, that it's not just some side gig, quick cash thing. You are actually starting a business. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. But if you are planning to have an own homestead income plan, you need to know that you're starting a business. So number 2 is building a sustainable business takes time. It's not going to be fast. I use the tortoise and the hare all the time. I am the tortoise. I am literally the tortoise, not literally, but I am the tortoise. I just take one step at a time. I started thinking about this too. And I meant to just recap, but here, I have another thought for you. I started thinking about this today, where a tortoise actually only can take one step at a time. I don't think I've ever seen a tortoise run to where they're not taking a step at a time, whereas a rabbit can jump, so they can take an actual leap. But a tortoise has to take an actual step at a time. And if I'm wrong, I'll send me a video of a tortoise hopping or something, and then I'll readjust this whole thing. Okay, so number 3 is, if you are starting your business, you are an entrepreneur. You have to get comfortable with the terminology. You're an entrepreneur or a solopreneur. Okay, and then number 4 is, so entrepreneurship is very lonely. So remember to be thoughtful and proactive about finding people that understand what you're going through. And number 5 is, building a business is not about you. It's about your customer or your client. It's not about you. You need to help them get closer to their goals before you can get closer to your goals. Okay, so that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening to the whole thing. Don't forget to join the Homestead Income Plan group on Facebook. I'll have the links in the show notes. You can search Homestead Income Plan and you'll find it. And don't forget to join the wait list for the Cultivating Cash Flow challenge that I have coming up on August 18th. And that link is homesteadincome.com/cashflow. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful day.